Hello and welcome everyone to this webinar together with AIKO and Synergia. My name is Björn Nordin and I work at Synergia as an educator. So I do a lot of these webinars. Today we have Marina Shi from AIKO with us, and I will just make a short presentation of Synergia first, and then we'll dive into your products and the technology behind them. So shortly first about Synergia. I'm located here by Odenplan, just upright above these flags here. We started as a wholesaler in 2018 and have grown since then, and working mainly with our supply chain. We do some other stuff, but supply chain is what we do most and foremost. So we are now live in Sweden mainly, but also in Norway, Denmark, and Finland. And you can see these yellow dots here is where we have some of our offices. And then the red dots is where we have our warehouses. So that would be in Sweden, in Jönköping, in Norway, in Oslo, and in Helsinki, in Finland. As of 2023, we had a turnover of roughly 130 million euros. Which were sent out and went through these three warehouses. So it's a really fun and nice journey around here. We also have one office in Rio, in Brazil, where we have one of our fellow employees. That's fun. So as I said, what we do is mainly supply chain. We make sure that these panels from here, together with inverters or mounting materials or an EV charger or whatever you need, comes to the right place in the right time. But we also have a product and tech advisory, and we work also a lot with education and certification. So here is what we do mainly. So here you can see some mounting material. We have a ground mounting system to the right. We also have some panels, batteries, etc., that are going to be sent out to site. And this we could do with a crane truck or anything else. So we have a big team working with supply chain and logistics here. For our solution and tech support, we have a team of roughly 10 engineers working with technical support, helping you both with the PV design of projects, also with the battery design for larger and smaller sites, but also with any questions you have regarding our products and their compatibility. If you need help with PV design, you can see this link at the bottom, projektering.synergia.se or DK or FI or NO, to get help with your products from there. And lastly, as I said, we work a lot with education at our Synergia Academy. So we host webinars like this with our suppliers. You can find them all at YouTube. We also have some Synergia Play sessions. One also here with Marina from AIKO from earlier last year. Also at our website, you will find handbooks that we have written, and we have online digital trainings as well that you can find there. And we also do some vocational training courses. So we train some of the installers that you will find out on the market in the future. We have a large range of suppliers in panels, in inverters, mounting materials, and charging. Today, we will focus on AIKO. Very happy about that. But there's also a lot of these webinars out online on our YouTube channel if you want to check out any of the other products. And that was all about Synergia for today. And I'm happy to invite Marina in to tell us more about AIKO, your products, and the technology.
Right. Yeah, thank you, Björn. Yeah, it's always nice to be invited to the webinar to explain about what AIKO does. I know that as a solar module, many people think, oh, solar modules, I know everything about them. I just need to know how much, what's the output, how many wattage, and what's the size of it, what's the frame, and then I can work with them. Actually, it's quite a different type of product that AIKO is trying to do in the market, and we have been doing it since I think since last year that well, the year before that we started in Europe. So it has been quite a short time that we have been in the solar module industry. But yeah, I'll be digging into the company introduction and the product, and also why ICO is different to all the other solar module product in the market. So firstly, a little bit introduction about our team. Now in Sweden, we have a new BD that's staying. I think he's been in the industry for a long time. So he's our new BD. And then from me, I'm Marina. I look after our Northern Europe group. So that is the Scandinavia region and also UK and Ireland. And then we also have a dedicated regional solution manager, Mohammed, who looks after certificates and also solutions. And then we have a marketing manager, Shona, who looks after the regional marketing issues as well. So a bit short introduction. I think for those of you who don't know ICO, you've probably seen us either during the Intersolar on the taxi where we had the large advertisement, or I think we also had a large advertisement on the airport. And recently, we've also actually entered into the Sweden market. Yes, so ICO is a huge solar cell manufacturer, one of the biggest in the world. That's why we have already accumulated 130 gigawatt at the moment solar cell output. We have a quite a global operation. As you can see here, this I think we have 3 factories at the moment running with ABC or the ICO solar module product, and then we have local offices in each sub-region in Europe, where our main office is in Germany, and then in our Northern Europe region, our main office is in UK. And we have about 100 people now in Europe since we really started last year. So 20% in R&D, and yeah, we have 3 R&D centers, one in Frankfurt as well. Yeah. So yeah, when we talk about the difference in ICO, is because we are a company that focus on innovation, and for us, innovation actually comes in 2 parts. One is the technology, and one is how you manufacture it to make the technology realize. I think for those people who know ICO, you probably known us as the most efficient solar module in the available to you in the industry, which is true. We have been on the as the top one module efficiency on the Taiyang News top modules. This is a available. You can search for it. It's on the website. They update it every month. We have been on the top for 18 months now since we started since we started applying for this. So for ICO, we have always been the front runner of the technology. We were the one that invented the mainstream tubular PERC technology that people were already using back when PERC was the fancy new technology before. And we also were one of the first to start making larger cells. So any innovation on the modules must come from the solar cells themselves. So when the solar cells gets bigger, that's when the solar modules also gets bigger. That's when the efficiency also climbs even higher. That was back then when people were all using the P-type wafer. And then the technology switched and N-type wafer becomes financially, it makes sense. So we all jumped into the N-type technology, then AIKO was looking for the ultimate technology when everybody's using N-type. I think between the P-type and N-type, there is the difference. At the moment, most of the manufacturer in the industry are using N-type. I think the only one that's not using it is Longi. They themselves are a wafer company. And they are using P-type. The difference between N-type and P-type is that the P-type is more sensitive to light-induced degradation, which is the damage that caused to your solar module in the first few hours of it hitting the sunlight. And it is also more sensitive to the light and elevated temperature induced degradation. So there are two parts. In general speaking, in layman's term, that the P-type is more unstable and it will cause a higher degradation. This is why most of the people have moved on into the N-type. So but between the N-type wafers, there are also different technologies. So what AIKO is doing at the moment is the back contact technology. Is the ones that you see, it's truly full black and you don't see any grids on the front. Yes, because all the grids are in the back. That is what we do with the back contact technology. The reason why I mentioned Longi is because Longi is the other one also known to do back contact technology at the moment, the HPVC. But the main difference between us is that Longi technology is more a combination of P-type and PERC technology together. But with AIKO is the N-type and TOPCon technology that we combine together. So back contact, of course, both belongs into the back contact technology side. We are also the only one who's able to do bifacial back contact modules, and we've reached 70% rate. It is quite hard to do it because if you think about it, all the grids are on the back, and then how can you do bifacial when you also request all the things on the back to also generate? So this is also a technology milestone that AIKO has achieved. So going forward, we also have new technologies coming up, available to order probably November, December time for our third generation Infinite, which will boost the efficiency 1% higher. Yes. So at the moment, the AIKO modules efficiency are going from at 24%, and then the Infinite technology will go to 25%. Yes. So that is what we are all waiting for. So going to the manufacturing side, as I've mentioned, we now have 3 factories. We have another factory coming alive, probably end of the year. It will be another 10 gigawatt production availability. And then with the AIKO solar cell business itself, we still produce the TOPCon cells, and we are still known for the high efficiency solar cells. So other people are still buying the high efficiency TOPCon cells from us. The only thing is that we do not give them the ABC cells. We keep it for all of our ABC modules that we use. I think one main thing that I want to mention is that we actually don't use silver in our solar module, which is quite rare because everyone else uses the bus. They're all made with silver paste, but with us, we use copper alloy particles we spray on it to make those bus. I think one thing is that it helps us to control the cost of the production. So our AIKO modules are a wonderful product. It's the highest efficiency, and with the no silver, it is also quite sturdy in comparison to because copper is stronger in comparison to silver. And then there's also the other welding technologies. But with no silver, we are able to provide this product to you at a reasonable cost. So apart from that, something really interesting for us is that we 100% produce our own cells. This is not something that, this is a statement that most of the manufacturers cannot say in the industry. And not only do we do that, So one thing is that with 100% producing your own cells, you are able to control the quality of the products that you provide, because the solar cells are actually the main things that you use in the solar modules. They are the solar generating part. But also with AIKO, we go one step further. Usually for other manufacturers, if you manufacture the solar cells on one side, and then you need to ship those solar cells to your solar module factory. During that transport, you will create micro cracks on your solar cells. That is not avoidable because solar cells are just so thin and so fragile. But what AIKO has done is that we have integrated our factories. So on one side, after the solar cells are generated, the produced solar cells goes directly into the solar module factory. So it reduces the microcrack or any damage that could happen between these two steps, which is also a step that we have done to be able to increase our efficiency, because ultimately the microcracks on your solar cells is going to reduce the production of your solar module. Yes. So these are two main points of manufacturing innovation that we have done. So going forward, we are hoping to make all of our factories zero carbon. With the new 10 gigawatt factory in the north part of China, it will be like our major wafer and silicon providers. It will be 100% green electricity, and it will also reach a 90% water recovery, which is quite difficult on water recovery technologies. Yes, so this is what we're doing with manufacturing. This is a video of our product. Yes, right. Yeah, as you can see, most of things are automatic. I think for those of you who's familiar with production line, you can also see what brand of machinery that we use, because it was quite a new technology, ABC. So we had to design quite a lot of those production machines ourselves with the other factories. Yeah, so it is something that is quite innovative to see. Yeah, I think as you will notice that most of the things are automatic except for the human inspectors, which is needed. And also for the installation of the junction box and everything, they are all automatic, even packing as well. Yeah, which is quite rare. I think, yeah, for many manufacturers at this point, when you are installing the junction boxes on the back of the solar modules, it's still manual. Yeah. For us, we are also looking to increase the ratio of our AI inspector. So there will be even less people used in our whole factory to reduce the human errors. One big part that people are mentioning is the ESG and traceability. I think, yeah, we do have a ESG website for those of you who want to check our ESG resources. This is our website on the left-hand side corner. We are now a participant of United Nations Global Compact, and come with it, there are rules that we need to adhere to. You can see more details on our ESG website, what we have done. And also we have signed up on the woman equalizing action. So to make sure that we will have a fair ratio, fair ratio, gender, recruitment, and the treatment within our company. We have also done some third-party audits. There are some certificates listed there. So for those of you interested, yeah, you can come to us and we'll be able to provide this information. So now coming to the product side. This is the full range of products we are providing at the moment. So in Sweden, I think most people are more familiar with our 455 full black single glass module. That is the NeoStar or the 54 cell ones, the 1757 times 1134 times 30 millimeter. So what the main power class at the moment is 455. We can produce also quite a lot of 460, but this is subject to ordering, as it is very powerful for full black to be, and at the same size. There are some new 460s coming up, but the sizes are quite is like 1800 times 1134. So it is a bigger size in order to reach the 460 watt limit. What we do is 460 is what we do provide quite a lot. And if you are not so interested in the full black, actually with full black we also have the double glass version. So it is also 455, what is like what we mainly have as the double glass full black module. And if you don't need full black, we also have the black frame, which will be even higher in about 10 watt. So the main power class for that would be 465 watt. I think it is used mainly for the other countries in Scandinavia. Going one upwards, we now have a 60 cell, which is the 1954 times 1134. For those of you who are not comfortable with the large modules, but you also want a higher output. So that module is actually now 510 watt for full black single glass at the moment. So that is our residential side. And then in the middle, we also have the nebula, which some of you might have seen on our AIKO van. This is the very innovative technology, which it is 8.6 kilogram, but it has a frame that is 30 mil, so you can install it as normal, and it is on the output of it is 440 to 445 at the size of 1762. So that is the same output as the other modules when they have a high efficiency solar module. In comparison, our weight is less than half. I think generally it goes above 20 kilogram for any modules at that size. So this is something to consider for those of you with a weak roof, or for those of you who are looking to do some maybe facade projects. That it's a special product. We did it because we were trying to see how light can we make the solar modules, and this is the result. And then coming to the larger modules, in our warehouse, we still have some 2323 times 1134, which is also quite popular, 620 watt to 630 watt at the moment. And then we also have, of course, the large 2382, which are going more into the utility commercial side. It's 645 to 655 watt at the moment. And then with Stella, that is the bifacial module with 70% bifaciality rate. Some people may have seen like higher bifacial rate in other modules, but I have to say, because with those modules, the output, what you're generally seeing is about 585. If you time the bifaciality rate with AIKO's 645 watt, which is our main power class, the difference is quite high for each module at the same surface area. So with us, our Stella bifacial is 645 as the main power class. It can go to 650 watt as well. And of course, we are expecting even higher wattage going forward in next year. So a few points about the benefit that what we can provide to not only the installers but also to the end users here. So one thing is that we can provide high power. I think nobody is arguing that. It's 6 to 9% higher output in comparison to the mainstream TOPCon modules. So yeah, I think with more generation, you get your money back, or you get your investment high impact faster. This is something everybody understands. And then with higher, we're also able to do a high return for you. So what we can do is the partial shade optimization, which is also unique to all the AIKO modules at the moment. And then I'll explain in more details because it is a very unique concept. And then we also have a better temperature coefficient, which is as temperature increase, the solar module performance actually goes down. So what we do is that AIKO has a lower temperature coefficient. So it will be even more it will be more efficient when there is a high temperature situation. I will explain more in details. And then we also have a lower degradation, which is 1% in the first year and 0.35%, less than 0.35% in the years up to 30 years warranty. So with all the AIKO modules, you get a performance warranty of 30 years. With the full black modules, you get 25-year product warranty. And then for the other products, you get 15-year product warranty, but it's extendable to 25-year as long as you mention it when you are purchasing it, because we cannot provide you that warranty after you have installed it. Yes. So that is what we can provide to you as high returns. And then AIKO module also have two safety features. One is that we are able to restrict the temperature rise within the solar module. So that is our high temperature restriction. And then we also have a micro crack resistance feature, which has something to do with what I've mentioned about the non-silver technology that we use. So let's have a look. So firstly, this is the partial shade optimization feature. We are doing experiment here. This is also something you can do if you have your own AIKO module. You can compare it to any other module in the market. They wouldn't be able to do the same thing. So on the left-hand side, ABC module, we just connected it. It's got an open circuit voltage at 45 volt. And then you can see in the middle, the water pumps are to symbolize the power that it produces. On the right-hand side, it's other modules. So of course it has a lower voltage as it does output a bit lower. So we can see now that we've put two shades in the middle, and on the right-hand side, it goes from 41 to 27 immediately. That's about 1/3 you have lost. But on the left-hand side, 45 to 42, not so much. Only one cell. One out of the 54 cells are infected. And then with 4 shadings, we are staying at 40 strongly, and the other modules have lost about 2/3. So it's now 13 volt. And you can see the water pump has completely stopped for the other module. And then, yeah, with 6 shadings, AIKO module still producing strong, but with the other modules, it's not producing at the moment. Yeah. So yeah, so this is what you can see, the difference when it comes to shading for our AIKO ABC module and any other module in the market. And even with 12 shading, this is quite common for like if you have a cable line or you have like a dynamic shading like that goes across the board. For other modules, it's usually not producing. And for AIKO module, we are still producing more than half of the generation. So how do we do it? This is the theory behind. Yeah. So as you can see, there are 3 bypass diodes in the back of the solar modules. This is true for all of them. And once a cell has a shade on it, you can generally see the bypass diodes getting activated, and it has to block off this whole string of the solar cells in order to make sure the other 2 strings of the solar cells within the solar module is able to produce fully. So this is what they do, and it is a wonderful function, except when now AIKO technology has come up, we are able to let the current bypass the shaded cells. So it doesn't trigger the bypass diodes. So essentially, it's almost like you have a little optimizer behind the solar cells, but it's not. It's what we have done is a change in the cell structure to allow the current to soft break through between the solar cells. So this is something that only AIKO does, and we also have the report from TÜV to certify that when a cell is fully shaded, we can produce extra 30% electricity in comparison to TOPCon. So we have done some tests over it. This is a quite new concept because with this technology, as an installer, you are, or as an end user, if you are after a higher generation, usually when you design a project, you would avoid the shaded area completely because it makes no sense. But with AIKO modules, if there is some production possible from the shade, you would be able to put one over there, and then the AIKO module would actually generate. So for the end customers, it's another way to, apart from the higher efficiency that brings you higher generation, it's another way to boost your generation with limited roof space. And for installers, it is one extra solar module that you'll be installing. Yeah, which is one way of looking at this feature. So what we have done is tree shading experiment. On this one, we can see that there's a general 12% benefit just from the shade optimization itself. Disregarding the difference between ABC module and the TOPCon module general output. As you can see on the right-hand side here, this is the chart. And of course, with the shade optimization, it needs shade to show the benefit. So you can see there's more shade benefit on the first day in comparison to the second day, because the second day, the generation is higher. That means there's less shading. So it is actually because you can see it is actually because of the shade difference. So under tree shade situation is around 12%. And then we also have done for the dynamic shading. So this is like if you have a chimney on your roof, and then or some complicated structure on your rooftop, and then you can see this is about 50% difference that we can gain. This is the highest scenario that we see. And then with the short end shading, this is one you've probably installed your solar modules with portrait side, and then there's maybe some dust collecting at the bottom, or maybe in Sweden, maybe there's some snow deposit at the bottom line after a heavy snow in Sweden. So you can see around 5% shading because in this scenario, the shade is quite limited because it's just one row. Actually, if it covers more, there will be more shading gain. But even with one row, there is already a 5% difference when you have AIKO partial shade optimization benefit. So this is with our shade optimization. And then with the better temperature coefficient, this is just to, with AIKO is 0.26%, and with the best in the market at the moment, TOPCon 0.29%. Yeah, it is the 0.29 was the 100, the full mark back then when the CEA or PV Maxing, I think, experiment body, when they tested all of the solar modules in the market, they gave 100 to 0.29% for TOPCon. But then AIKO came, and we got the grade of 107. It's well, because it is better than what they set the 100 point at. They were surprised. And this year, when they redo the test, AIKO 0.26 will be the full mark point. So when we talk about temperature coefficient, people think, oh, my country is quite cold. It's not high temperature, so it doesn't really affect me. Actually, you need to think about the temperature. It's not the temperature you feel, it's actually the temperature where when the solar modules are in operation, they will have a higher temperature in comparing to the room temperature that you're feeding. So it does actually give you a advantage. So you can see here it's about 1% when during cold temperature, and then maybe If it goes higher, like these days in the summer, it may go to about 2% difference. So this is also something that AIKO module can provide to you. Also coming to the lower degradation, you can see that there's about 3 technologies at the moment in the market. So with our ABC technologies, we are able to reach 88.9% after 30 years. And then the mid one would be the HAT. Some solar modules manufacturers do that. That is heterojunction, and they reach 88.1%. So that is already 7% difference, 0.7% difference. And then with TOPCon, there's even further distance. So it is more than 1% difference for the degradation at 30 year, and also at 25 year already 1% as well for the between the ABC technology and TOPCon technology. We have considered other technologies before we decided that we will be doing the back contact technology. One main point is because of the degradation. As everybody now, for the solar systems, now everybody is considering at 30 year performance time. So we would like a product that will be actually generating for as much as we can for the 30-year product lifetime. And also with the other 2 technologies that we have considered, we have looked into, HJT structure is not as compact as the PERC technology, where TOPCon is more similar to. And also it is, of course, the most complicated technology here is the ABC technology. So with looser structure, it actually makes it more unstable during the degradation. And we have seen these days also in the market that there are researchers about the high temperature and moisture induced degradation, and both HJT and TOPCon are quite sensitive on it. And the reason why these days the TOPCon modules are pushing for the double glass, or the other manufacturers pushing for double glass, the main problem is because they need perfect encapsulation to avoid that feature. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to reach the degradation promise that they make to the customers. That's why everybody's pushing for the double glass, and we are not, because with ABC technology, it is actually structurally quite sound. So you don't see the back contact technology people pushing you for the double glass module. Yeah, so this is what is happening in the industry, and this is the difference in our degradation. And then we can see our microcrack test. So the microcrack resistance, as I've mentioned before, has something to do with us not using silver, and also with our battered welding technology. So these 2 cells have been smashed with the same weight and the same speed. So essentially the same power. But you can see with ABC modules, we remain quite intact, and we only lost about 16% of our production. And then with the TOPCon, it lost about 44% of their production. I think yeah, the comparison in the pictures is quite clear. You can see here with both solar modules, the AIKO module is still quite doesn't really suffer much in the damage. I'm sure there is micro cracks, but I think for the TOPCon modules, it's mainly macro cracks, as we can see here. Yeah, so this is the difference of the sturdiness between our cells. And this also comes to the Scandinavia country, or for the northern part of the hemisphere. For those of you guys with heavy snow situations, I know that on the data sheet, we all have like certificates saying that our modules can withstand how many Pascal snow load. But you need to understand that even though the modules are structurally sound enough to hold themselves together at that heavy snow load. But after the snow load, actually what you don't see is within the cells. This is what happens. You get loads of micro cracks inside your solar modules, and it reduces the performance of your solar modules greatly. So what you can see here with AIKO is that the microcrack that it created wouldn't be affecting our modules as much as the other modules in the industry. So, so even at the same snow load afterwards, even though two modules both survived that snow load, ICO module will be able to still keep the performance higher in comparison to the other modules. And yeah, we are looking to do more tests on that, but at the moment on the this is what we can very easily show you on the cell level because of the cell structure difference. And then we also have our safety features. This is our high temperature restriction comparison. So you can see familiar background. It's the same test we have done with other modules. So these two modules have been shaded for 1 hour. And then you can see we are testing temperature here. The other module is around 150 degrees. And then for our ABC modules, it's 100 degrees. Yes. So that is about 50 degrees Celsius difference in comparison between two modules. So with that, it comes with a lower fire risk, which is why our modules are actually quite popular and accepted by some of the public buildings, for example, like schools or public government or hospital projects that we have been winning those tenders. One of the main reason is because of the temperature restriction. We also have here on the left-hand side with two test report that ICO module generally when shaded reaches around 100 degrees. Yep, so these are all the features that we have. I have here a comparison site, but I am also aware of the time. We will need to come back to this. So let's have a look. Because we've only been in the industries, I joined last March. So that's when we started actually developing into the Northern Europe. And yeah, I think for Sweden market, it's around September that we've started entering the market. Yeah, and of course, we are working with Synergia quite closely. And then that's where Synergia actually brought us our first reference project. You can see it on our YouTube channel and also on the Synergia Play as well. So that's the Northern Light project, 23 kilowatt. That's the one in the middle with our ABC modules. We have also done quite loads of residential case references. We only pick the ones that looks good here. Some smaller ones, small commercial projects we have done just to show you guys. This is actually a church roof. So it is quite an old church. So they are quite concerned with the structural maintenance and also with the space that they have. But hey, churches still want to be green. So what they have is that they used our ICO modules. So you can see here, actually all the modules are installed quite closely with each other, but they are not too afraid of the shading effect because ICO modules are able to have partial shade optimization. And that this would be able to all the modules would still be producing, even if there is a little bit shading at the bottom. And also they are using us because we are the most efficient module in the market. So with this is how much space that they have on their roof, and that's why they are using ICO modules. I think this is very similar for what other people are using us for on those situations. We've also done some quite big CNI reference cases. In the middle one here, this is the one in UK. It looks like a black roof. Yes, it's all ICO module packed. And you can see a little bit in comparison with the old modules in the backside. And of course, the aesthetic, the blackness of our module, it is another thing that's what the end customers like about us. Um, Here is another example of partial shade optimization being used. As you can see, this is quite a complicated roof. There's even a little pole like between the two solar module rows. They are using, this is also one of the reasons why they are using AIKO modules, is to use our partial shade optimization. And also, as you can see, this is a grass here. This is actually a green roof. There's also a consideration for the temperature restriction here. Yeah, so this is why they are using us. And also, this is a slightly bigger one. This is another 1.3 megawatt we have done in UK. And you can see the comparison with the old module, that is the one on the corner. And the AIKO modules are quite nice and black for this size as well. Yeah, so so these are some reference cases that we have. And if you have any cases that you have already installed, please contact us and we'll be very happy to promote it with you guys. Yes. So that is all from my presentation today. Yes. Any questions? Oh, I think, do we have a question section here?
Yes. Thank you a lot, Marina. Very interesting to listen to all the technology and innovation from AIKO. If anyone has any questions, now is a good time for that. I could say also I was at Intersolar and I tried your partial shading optimization, which was a lot of fun to see and actually try it. Because if you just watch the video, it's hard to believe that it works in all the different directions and whatever shading you do. But it was nice to see that it works for all the different scenarios. So that was fun.
Yeah, we also had the micro crack resistant machine, but it only run every half hour because we don't have that many solar cells to smash. Yeah, so yeah, it's yeah, definitely worth to see it by yourself. Yeah, nice
Yeah.
to see the modules as well. They are really, the full black modules are really black. Yeah, it's I understand it is yeah, it is essential for some of our end customers. Yeah.
Yeah. I could have a question as well regarding the new upcoming panel, the 25%. Could you tell us more about that and when it's planned to come and etc.?
Okay. Yeah. So with the new Gen 3 technology, so what we have with Synergy at the moment is our Gen 2 solar modules. They have all the features that we have said. With the Gen 3 modules, it is mainly a boost on the efficiency. So how it's called the infinite technology. Because what we have done is, I think everybody in the industry is using the 0BB technology now. It's the bus bar printing technology. It was a patent that other manufacturer had, and then it expired. So everybody is using it. That would boost a little bit of the efficiency. And then we are also using the very latest welding technology. Actually, I didn't mention in details is the with our micro crack resistance because we the factory is new and we are known for our manufacturing power. So our welding machines are actually triple the force that it is comparison to traditional welding. So what we are able to do in our Gen 3 modules is that we actually weld all of the solar cells together very tightly. So it's like it's almost one piece. And then we have also taken the string collectors in the front into the back. So what it does is that because with the back contact technology, essentially we are trying to increase the front surface area for it to fully absorb the sun. That is why all the grids are in the back. So now we've taken all of the other things into the back as well. So that means the whole front area will be just solar cells gathering the sun solar power. Yes. So that's how we are able to increase the efficiency, but they won't be available until probably when it arrives in Sweden will probably be January, February time. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, it's still the second generation is still very impressive. So that works well until then.
Yeah,
and
I would say the best module in the industry at the moment, with no doubt. Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Unless anyone has any questions.
Oh, infinite technology is, and why is it better than the zero BB technology? Actually, the infinite technology incorporates the zero BB technology. I know that the zero BB, everyone else uses it, but with the new welding technology and also putting the string collectors on the back, so it actually increases our front surface area. We've also changed the solar cell dimensions a little bit to make it work better with the frame size that we have, so that essentially it just increases the front surface area for the solar absorption. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. I hope that answers the question.
I hope so too. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, unless anyone else has any questions, and do you want to add something, Marina?
Um, I think yeah, because everybody has been on vacation, I just I don't know, just really hope for the solar industry installations to start again. Yeah,
Yes.
that's all I need. Yeah.
Yes. That's all I want as well. Cool. And for you who are here online, we will doing a road tour here with AIKO starting on the 9th of September. And you could find it on our website at synergia.se/utbildning. We're going through Sweden. So then you'll have the opportunity to meet us live. That'll be cool. Okay. Uh, Nothing else. Thanks a lot, Marina, and looking forward to continuous collaboration and see you in the future.
Right. Yeah. Thank you, Beyond. See you at the roadshow. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. See you.
Bye, guys. Bye bye.